When I first started this channel, I didn't want to become one of those K-tubers that mentions their alt group in every single video they make, but that obviously didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. Studio albums in K-pop are rare because they are expensive to make and are high risk, high reward, as majority of companies are unsure if the amount of money they put towards producing, releasing, and marketing the album is money they are going to make back. This uncertainty is especially high for rookie groups. However, studio albums in K-pop that are great are even more rare. Personally, I can name around 5 K-pop studio albums I think are great, and one of those is SHINee's very first studio album, The SHINee World, released in November of 2008, only 6 months after their debut. To better understand the musical composition of this album, it's important to know the context in which it was released in. When it comes to SHINee's first year as a group, their music was entirely influenced by 90s and early 2000s R&B music, while their styling was inspired by Chris Brown in his early years of being a singer. During Chris Brown's debut years, he wore large jackets, hoodies, t-shirts, baggy jeans, and caps. This paralleled how SHINee wore the same styling in some of their album covers during 2008 as well. Like, the visual similarities between Chris Brown's Excuse Me Miss music video and SHINee's Replay music video are so obvious. SHINee's styling also contributed to their marketability, as their casual styling made them seem like cute teenage boys that ended up debuting, rather than what we see nowadays with idols dressed out in designer clothing, whether on or off the stage. This gave them a sense of relatability to their audience. This song is memed a lot by the fandom, and I can understand why, but I remember finding this song to still be catchy even though it's corny. I think it's because the members went into the studio trying their hardest to not make the song cornier than it already was. Their vocal delivery was pretty convincing for me. My favorite part of the song is Junghyun's bridge. It has so much swag to it and is a standout part of the song for me. Personally, this song tries to be the Korean version of Wall to Wall by Chris Brown, and you cannot unconvince me of that. Love's Way is a 2000s R&B song. This song samples Force MD's song Tender Love, and I don't think many people know that this song is a sample. Love's Way is a good song up until Junghyun's auto-tune high note. Like, the auto-tune straight up ruins the entire song for me. Like, who thought this sounded good? The SHINee World is a perfect example of weak title track, great album, as this is one of their worst title tracks. It's not a bad song, as it's very Michael Jackson-esque with bass guitar throughout and synths during the bridge. Just the members' diction and the style of singing they had in the song felt out of place for me in some parts. I especially don't like the bridge, and I felt like Taemin was struggling to sing during the bridge. Romantic is a 2000s R&B breakup song. The composition is truly 2000s R&B to its core. However, Romantic is one of my least favorites on the album because it's less catchy than the other songs on here. And for what feels like the first time on this album, Taemin gets a part where you can clearly tell it's him. I find the lyrics of the song to be decent, and the writing style reminds me of the lyrics in some of Arashi's breakup songs like Koe. 난 너무 두려워 우리의 추억이 깊게 배어 있는 곳엔 완벽한 사람을 만난 너 보게 될까봐 너 같은 그때로 돌아가 다시 널 사랑한 한 남자로 태어나서 다시는 너를 아프게 하지는 않을래 그녀의 옆에 영원히 곁에. One For Me is an R&B song, and like Romantic, I still do enjoy this song, just not as much as the others on here, so I don't have much to say about it. For a while, I thought this song was about expressing your thoughts to your true love, but it's about stepping in when your crush gets their heart broken, and these lyrics are slightly funny, but the song is still a bop. 사랑하던 애인에게 버림받았대 지금 울먹이던 그녀 달래주러 가지만 난 기뻐지는 맘을 참을 수가 없는데 저간다 그 사람 손을 잡은 채 I don't think Graze is a sample, but the guitar and drum used in the song just sounds so similar to me, and I felt this way for 2 to 3 years, and I still have yet to find the song I think it sounds like. Anyway, Graze is where this album truly picks up for me, as all the songs past this point are my favorite songs on this album. My favorite parts of this song are Key's English rap and Junghyun's high note. I don't know why Last Gift is a slower paced R&B song with piano for his instrumental. This song mostly consists of medium to low vocal dynamics with Key, Junghyun, and Onu's voices working so well with the song, and the change during the bridge helps keep the song from being static. My favorite part of this song is the "I don't know why I can't move on" line during the chorus. I sing it every time it comes on. Best Place is an R&B song. It is my second favorite song on this album, and I feel like the songs I like the most are the songs I have the least to say about. The chorus is by far the best part of the song because of how catchy its melody is. Easy for the Ella is a ballad song and is my favorite song on this album. This is Junghyun's first solo song and is a cover of Spanish singer Alejandro Sanz's song of the same name, which was one of the lead singles off of his 1997 Maz album. I don't know whether this song is considered a power ballad or a Latin ballad, since the instrumental starts off with a piano, then during the chorus switches into guitar. This song also contains a very vocally demanding top line with numerous high notes during the song's duration. Alejandro Sanz's composition is kept the same, but the song's arrangement is slightly toned down in terms of intensity compared to the original. The lyrics, written by Kenzie, show the speaker going through the pain of the breakup. 그런 말 다신 하지마 내겐 너무 가벼운 그러나 내겐 너무 무거운 이 마음이 너를 힘들게 했구나 조금은 물러설게 기다릴게 네가 편하도록 멀리 서 있을게 이리 애원하잖아 어찌 떠나려는 거야 웃는 그 눈으로 안녕이란 잔인한 말은 나를 죽이고 숨이 멈춰 행복하게 해주던 그 멜로디가 아직 너무 찬란하다 제발 버리지 마 Easy for the Ella is the first song that comes to mind for me when the topic of the greatest K-pop B-sides of all time comes up. Like, this song is literally in K-pop B-side Hall of Fame for me. This is one of SHINee's most popular B-sides and the main reason people discuss this album in the first place, and I think we can all collectively agree that this is the best song on this album, and that if this song was given to another SM main vocalist, it wouldn't have been as famous as it is. Anyway, this song is literally life-changing, you guys, and I plan on doing a vocal cover review of it later down the line. 4 Seasons is an R&B song and my third favorite song on this album. The best part of the song is the "I'll wait for you until the end" line during the chorus. I sing it every time I listen to this song. In comparison to the rest of the songs on this album, this song does a good job at incorporating both the vocals and raps, and one doesn't throw off the other. I also like Key's talking at the end of the song. So, let's discuss the album in its entirety, starting with the good. Firstly, although there are some songs that I dislike on this album is one of the least skippable albums in SHINee's entire discography. Although the production isn't as crystal clear as their later releases, the songs on this album can still go toe-to-toe with their current songs over 14 years after their initial release. Secondly, Junghyun's vocals. I didn't mention them a lot while doing the individual song reviews because I was saving it for this part. Junghyun's vocals go absolutely insane on this album, and I'm not just talking about his Easy for the Ella performance, but the vocals he gives on this entire project. Like, I've never understood the endless debates K-pop fans have over line distribution when there are idols like Junghyun that were absolutely eating their bandmates up in the studio, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Every time I listen to the songs on this album, I always look forward to hearing Junghyun's high notes and ad-libs at the end of every song. Like, his vocals are by far the best part of this album. Now, the bad, which is Minho's rapping. After Junghyun, Onu, and Key, the producers didn't know what to do with Minho and Taemin, and Minho's rap verses are a result of that. Minho's raps usually come at the end of the song, and his rapping just becomes rambling because it gets buried by the instrumental, chorus, and Junghyun's ad-libs, and this happens throughout the album. Over 14 years have passed since the SHINee World was released, and the main reason this album is impactful is because of Junghyun's cover of Easy for the Ella. After Junghyun's death in December of 2017, many singers have covered the song in his honor. Idols that have covered Jungkook's rendition of Easy for the Ella include Super Junior's Kyuhyun, Monsta X's Kihyun, Weki Meki Soyeon, WJSS Youngjun, and soloist Sonnet Sun. Easy for the Ella, although being one of the most oldest B-sides in SHINee's discography, is by far one of the most popular B-sides of all time, with 9 million streams on Spotify, only being bested by SHINee's Body Rhythm with 12 million streams on Spotify. The SHINee World was the first SHINee album I ever listened to back when I was just getting into them in the summer of 2020. And safe to say, this album kind of was like a gateway drug or a rabbit hole for me when it really came into getting into SHINee as a group. Songs, Best Place, Easy for the Ella, and Four Seasons are all in my top 5 SHINee songs of all time. Like, I just can't describe the album, the impact that this album had on me. Like, Easy for the Ella is definitely my favorite song on this album, and it literally went viral in my bedroom. I played this song so much to the point where my mom doesn't even like the song because of how much I played it. And my mom literally biases Jungkook and really does like SHINee. She's really the only K-pop group that she's willing to give a listen. So that just proves this album is really, really great, and I would recommend listening to this album to pretty much anybody. Another thing that I also love about this album is that this album also contains R&B, and I feel like R&B is almost a very overlooked genre in K-pop. You really don't see a lot of albums that are completely R&B or have majority of B-sides be R&B. So I just really love this album for that reason, because R&B is like one of my, like, literally my number one favorite genre of all time. So that's another reason why I love this album. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what is your guys' favorite K-pop album of all time. But yeah, that is the end of this video. Bye.